Phase 1 is mindset and mind setting. I affectionately know this phase as the United States of accelerated learning, simply because you can learn best when you are in a positive state. So why united? Well, it's not just the learner's state of mind that counts. We've all been positively influenced, I hope, by an educator, a teacher, or a trainer who was so passionate about their subject. This often results in us being turned on to a subject that formerly didn't interest us. So the United States refers to the three states that need to be united and paid attention to. The state of mind of the learners, our own state of mind as influencers, and the state of the learning environment. Dealing with these in reverse order, have you ever tried to think straight when there are loads of distractions? It's very hard to do this. We know that environmental factors really help or really hinder the speed of information transfer. Practically then, this means you encouraging your learners to have their phones on silent and to schedule at least 20-minute time slots for learning without interruption. Wherever possible, they will also need a physical posture break every 45 minutes. A good break time being 4 minutes, because having a brain break every 45 minutes has proven itself to be really effective in our training. We now call it Club 45 and invite everyone to join. So why do the learners need a physical break? Well, it's all to do with the levels of attention. If they've been looking at the screen without varying their focus or their physical posture, at least two things will be happening to hinder learning. Firstly, their eye muscles will be suffering from fatigue. Our eye muscles need to vary their focal length from time to time, from near to far. Secondly, our antitoxin system, the lymphatic system, works best by flushing out natural poisons that build up in our bodies after time. This flushing can only happen through physical exercise or deepening our breathing. If we don't fidget every 45 minutes, the poisons build up in our neck regions and our hips, making learning become associated with being a pain in the neck, or even worse. If I may, I'd love to show you an excellent physical exercise to do in this break. This exercise will flush out the toxins and will reset the learner's levels of attention. I'd ask you to put your thumb up on one hand and your little finger out on the opposite hand. You notice my thumb is up here, but my other fingers are curled in. My little finger is out, but everything else is curled in on the other hand. Now this necessarily involves stimulation of both sides of your brain, because this posture is controlled by this hemisphere and this posture is being controlled by this hemisphere. Especially when I ask you to swap them over, like this. Now that may look easy on the camera, but I've had some practice. That wakes up both sides of your brain. Fantastic. There's much more we can do in any environment to enhance the chance of naturally successful learning. Much learning happens in an environment that suffers from sensory deprivation. It may be too grey or have flickering fluorescence. Encouraging your learners to add sensory enrichment to their environment has a surprising impact. This includes all the obvious matters for our attention, such as fresh air, natural light, and a pleasant scent, ergonomic seating, and protection from distracting sounds. Of course, this is not always possible, which is why taking regular brain breaks is not only vital, but also a good alternative where the physical environment cannot be changed. Taking regular breaks reboots the system and restores our energy levels. We know from psychological and neurological research that people learn best in a low-threat, high-energy environment and where they feel relaxed physically but alert mentally. You can help sculpt this state of mind through your recommendations and careful use of language. Recommending the use of ergonomic seating and keyboards, appropriate lighting, and the other environmental factors mentioned earlier will help the learners relax and be comfortable, yet stay alert. Your own use of positive, affirming and empowering language will help get the mood of low threat, high energy. This is the second state of our three United States of accelerated learning, the state of the learners. So give some thought as to how you can come across as enthusiastic yet not threatening. The really good news for you is that you really make the most difference. There is a phenomenon in physics and in biology called entrainment. This causes organisms and physical objects to resonate in synchronized rhythm. Well, what does that mean? Well, this is why you pick up phrases and accents of those people around you most closely associate with. Fundamentally, your state of mind is contagious, and in a good way. When the learners like you, they'll get in sync with you. So you must do whatever it takes to become passionate about your subject without being overly emotional. You must convey absolute confidence in your product, absolute confidence in yourself, and absolute confidence in your content. You must learn to enjoy the sense of power that naturally comes from knowing your subject inside out. When you project this, your learners will attain the ideal state for beginning the learning process. Confidence in themselves, confidence in you. Furthermore, you can realise that you can set the pace for the group and not vice versa. You become the leader